Hello, welcome to the second part video for SBI Clerk Prelims 2021 Logical Reasoning section questions. Let's continue with the questions. So we have a puzzle question over here. Some information is given to us, and following that we have couple of questions that we need to answer based on that. Okay, let's do. So as I said earlier, for all kinds of puzzle question we will make two diagrams simultaneously for different cases. Let's start reading the question. Eight persons A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H sit in a row facing to the north direction, but not necessarily in the same order. Okay, so there are eight persons sitting in a row. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I will draw two sets of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. B sits third from the right end. Okay, first, second, third. B sits over here. B sits over here. Three persons sits between H and B. So if B is here, if H has to sit, H can sit only on this side. Then only there can be three-person between H and B, because on the right hand side there is not enough space. Uh, and three-person sit between H and B. So 1, 2, 3, three-person sits. So H must be over here, yeah, or here. And D is the only neighbor of F. Uh, D is the only neighbor of F. That means F must be sitting at one of the edge, and if F sits over here, there is no place for D to occupy because it is already taken by H. So F must be sitting over here and D must be sitting over here. Okay. E sits immediate left of G. Who sits second to the right of A? E sits immediate left of G. That means wherever they sit, E and G will come in a pair together. Hmm. And uh, G E sits immediate left to G. Who sits? So here who means G. Here who means G. G sits second to the right of A. So A must be here. That's the only way how uh, from A's right, with respect to A's right, first, second, G sits on the second position. That means they will be sitting together, and there is only they can only sit over here because there are three spaces remaining for them to occupy. So A, E and G, only C is remaining. That must be C is over here. In this puzzle question there was no cases formed, so it do not require this any longer. Now let's answer the question. Who among the following sits second to the left of F? F over here, first, second. B. Next question. Which of the following statement is true as per the given information? Two persons sits between E and D. E is here, D is here, G and B is there, so this is right. A sits immediate right of C. A sits immediate right of C. No, that is not true. That is not true. C sits at one of the extreme ends. Okay, that is true. Both A and C is correct. Yes, this is my option. Correct option. Four of the following five are alike in a certain way, so form a group. Find the one who does not belong to the group. In this type of question, only the uh, who sits at edge, who sits at edge is usually the odd one out out of the group. Or in that's what I have seen in most of the questions. Uh, so for C is on the edge, H is middle, G is in the middle, A is in the middle, B is also in the middle, C is the only one who is at the edge. That means C is my correct answer. Okay, next question. Who among the following are immediate neighbors of G? Immediate neighbors of G are E and B. E and B, so option both C and D. So option E, both C and D. What is the position of D with respect to G? Uh, D is over here with respect to G. D is second on the right of G. Second to the right. That is my answer. Okay. It was pretty straightforward, this puzzle. Let's look at the next question. Question number 86. 5 persons A, B, C, D, E are arranged in a row. Okay. That means 5 persons sitting in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I'll make two sets. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. One person sits between A and B. One person sits between A and B. One person sits between A and D. Okay. So one person sits between A and B. That means A sits over here, there is one blank, and B sits over here. This configuration can be I'll just draw out all the three possible ways. So A is here, B is over here, this is one possibility, or A is here, B is here, that is one possibility, or A is over here, B is over here, that is one possibilities. So with this configuration only these three possibilities are there, so I have drawn out all the three situations. Let's move forward with the question, and based on the information we will eliminate the other two possibilities and keep only one possibility that is relevant to our question. One person sits between A and B, okay, that is fine. One person sits between A and D. Okay, one person sits between A and D. Okay, so if A is over here and uh, for D to sit, and there should be a one place gap, it is not possible with this condition or nor this condition. It is only possible with this condition. So D is over here where there is one more space left in the middle for another person to sit. C sits third to the right of D. Okay, if D is over here, first, second, third, C sits over here. So A, B, C, D is then only E must be sitting over here. So what is the question? What is the position of A with respect to E? With respect to A with respect to E, A sits immediately right. Immediate right. That is my answer. Okay, this was again pretty straightforward. Let's do the next question. Next we have a direction question. Don't avoid this question since the exam. You just see how easy this type of questions are. For direction type of questions, just make a pointer like a compass. So this is my north, this is my south. My north, south, east and west. North, south, east, west. So whenever in the questions here ask me to go in the north direction, I will go straight up. Whenever in the question asks me to go east, I will go straight right. Whenever in the question they ask me to go to the west, I will go straight west. And whenever in the question asks me to go south, I will go straight down. That is the logic behind this compass like structure. Make this structure at the corner of the copy before starting this question. Then and with practice and with when you get habituated, you may not draw this and waste time in the examination. And keeping that in mind, let's do the question. Point A is 8 meter north of point B. Okay, so if my point A is over here and point A and point B is there, so With respect to point B, A is 8 meters north, straight up. Point C is in 4 meter east of point B. So if this is B and this is point C, so 4 meter east in the eastern direction. Point D is in 5 meters south of point C. So this is my point C, and in the south direction I have point D, and it is 5 meters. Okay. Point F is in 5 meter north of point E, and point which means point D, which is 8 meter east of point D. So if this is point D, 8 meter east from point D, that is in this direction, 8 meters is my point E, and from point E, point F is 5 meter north from point E. So from point E, 5 meter north, that means straight up 5 meter is my point F. I can see if this is also straight 5 meter or this is also straight 5 meter, that means C and F both are exactly the same level. Understood? Let's read next. Point F is in 4 meter west of point G. Point F is 4 meter west of point G. That means G is somewhere over here, and with respect to G, point F is 4 meter on the west direction from G. So from G I'll go straight towards the left, and this is my point F. So from G, point F is 4 meters away from G, so straight in the left direction. And point H is in 8 meter north of point G, and H is from G 8 meters north, so straight up 8 meters. Since this is also 8 meters straight up, this is also 8 meters straight up, this is my point H. That means this A and H, they are exactly on the same level. Okay, I have drawn the diagram as per the question. Now let's see what question they have asked. What is the shortest distance between point A and H? So point A and H, so the shortest distance between any two points is the straight line between them. Shortest distance between any two points is straight line joining them. Right, so they are on the same level, so this is the straight line joining them. The shortest distance between them would be over here up till here is 4 meters, this is 8 meters, so up till over here from here to here is 8 meters, and from here to my point H is 4 meters straight. This is 4, this will also be 4. That means the shortest path is 8 plus 4 plus 4, that is 16 meters. That is my answer. Next question, what is the direction of point H with respect to D? Point H with respect to D. So to reach H with respect to D, I have to go north, I have to go somewhat north and then east. That means it is in northeast direction. It is this direction, this is how I have to go to H from D. So in that direction is what? Northeast direction. Northeast direction. That is my answer. What is the shortest distance between point F and C? Point F and C, the shortest distance, obviously it will be this straight line, and its length is whatever the length is this, it is because it is a rectangle, so it is an 8 meter. That is my answer. Done, as simple as that. 3 questions done. Let's do the next question. Okay, again puzzle question. So in puzzle question, what I have told you, to make two set of diagrams parallelly at the same time simultaneously. As in when we read question, we'll keep on drawing two simultaneous pictures for that same based on different cases or situations. Okay, 8 boxes are placed one above the other in a stack. In a stack means एक के ऊपर एक के ऊपर एक के ऊपर ऐसे ऊपर ऊपर रखता गया है. That means stack. एक के ऊपर रखना boxes को. That means 8 boxes are placed one above the other in a stack. So 8 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I will make two set of these. Right. पहले दोनों सेट के लिए मैंने जगह बना लिया. Now I'll read the question and as and when I read, I will keep on fill the positions simultaneously. Okay, now let's read the clues from the question. Not more than 2 boxes are placed above box Q. Not more than 2 बोला है, तो there can be 2 boxes above Q or even 1 boxes above Q. Right? So my Q can be over here also or here also. Okay. 3 boxes are placed between Q and T. Now 3 boxes are placed between Q and T. So above Q there are no places to keep 3 boxes, so it must be below. So between Q and T there should be 3 boxes, so I'll leave places for 3 boxes, 1, 2, 3. That means T must be over here, and for this case I'll keep 3 places empty, 1, 2, 3, and T must be over here. Okay. 2 boxes are placed between box U and S, which means S यहाँ पे, which is placed below T. Okay, S is placed below T, and 2 boxes are placed between U and S. So S can be either here or S can be minded. It is not. It has in the question. It has not said that S sits immediately below T. So S can be here also or here also. I don't know, but wherever S sits, it will be below T. And there are 2 boxes are placed between U and S. So if S sits over here in this scenario, one is T, another one keeps space empty. That means U must be sitting over here. And if that is the scenario, again if S sits over here, 1, 2, U sits over here, or if S sits over here, then U sits over here. I don't know still. I'll just give a dash to symbolize that if S sits over here, then U sits over here. Okay, let's continue. Box U does not place immediately above box T. Okay. Box S does not sit immediately above box T. So इस सिनेरियो में यहाँ पे ये कंडीशन नहीं हो सकता जहाँ पे U was sitting just immediately above T. This condition cannot be true. Box P is placed immediately above box V. Okay, we do not have any information about P or V either, so we'll come back to this later. Box R is placed above box W but does not place above box V. Okay, box P is placed immediately above box V. So wherever box P and V sits, they must be sitting in this configuration together, P and V. In this setting, 2 spaces one after another, only at the top is remaining, so it must be P and V. And in this scenario, there are no 2 spaces consecutively is empty where I can put P and V together. That means this whole condition is cancelled. I do not need it any longer. Mm, and our this condition is going right. Box R is placed above box W but does not place above box V. That means V is somewhere up there and W is somewhere here, and box R is placed above W. Above W, R is placed but below V. So this is the case, but one thing note, like in the previous sentence it was said that P is immediately above V. In this line it is not said anywhere that they are sitting immediately one after another. In this condition they have not said that they are sitting immediately one after another, so there can be other boxes between here or here. So we have to place V R W wherever the places are empty, but V has to be in the top, then R, then W. So V is already over here and we have two places remaining here and here. That means R will has to go over here and W has to go over here. That is my correct configuration. Now let's answer the question. Which of the following box is placed immediately above box W? Box W immediately above U. That's my answer. Mm. How many boxes are placed between P and R? Between P and R there are two boxes. Okay, the number of boxes are placed between Q and W. Q and W. Okay, Q and W. Q and W. Between Q and W there are two boxes. Okay, is same as the number of boxes placed between P and Q. P and Q, only one box is there, so not the option. V and U. V and U, yes, between V and U there are two boxes, so that is my one of the option. R and S. Between R and S there are three boxes, so not an option. W and T. W and T they are immediately one after another, that is not an option, so option B is my correct answer. Next question. Which of the following box is placed immediately below box S? Box S is my the lowest most box. There no one can sit below S, so none. That's my answer. Okay, let's do the next question. Okay, now let's see the next question. Mm. Question number 94, 94, 95 and 96. These three are inequality type questions, and seeing the inequalities I can see this is the easiest one. This is a bit difficult one because of this uh, different alternating sign, and this is the most difficult one out of these three because there are two inequalities, there is comma in between here. So I will teach you how to solve this type of questions efficiently. Listen carefully. Okay, let's start with the most easy one. So what is given to us, we'll just write it down. M less than N less than equal to O less than R equal to S less than T. Once you have written this, just above this draw a number line. Okay, and wherever there is any inequality, we will do something that you see, notice. So whenever there is only less than or greater than, what I mean, there is no less than equal to, there is no less than equal to or greater than equal to. It is when it is not the case, when we have only less than or only greater than. In those scenarios, on the number line just above that inequality you give a dotted line. It signifies a hard constraint, a wall. You can imagine it is a hard constraint wall that my M lies only in this region and it cannot go beyond this line. it can only go from here up till here. It cannot cross this line. Okay, now n, uh, and whenever there is greater than or greater than equal to or less than equal to, at that point you give a circle. Okay, that means, and you give n over here above n and o above o. That means that n can be equal to as o or less than o. And whenever there is an, I told you, whenever there is less than or just less than or just greater than, give a dotted line. That means o cannot cross this boundary and n cannot cross this boundary over here. And neither m can cross this boundary nor m can cross this boundary, and same for here, o cannot cross this boundary. But between this constraint region, between two strict walls, uh, n can be equal to o or less than o. Wherever o can be, wherever o can be over here, 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 wherever o is, n can be equal to that or less than that. That's what I mean. Understood? Mm. And equal to, I'll come later. Let's just do this less than, and when again there is less than, so I will give a, above that less than sign I'll give a dotted line. That means it is a strict big wall, and in this region, wherever between these two constraint big walls, wherever there is r, s is also there. Both are at the same point. Wherever r is going, s is going, and but they are both remaining constant within these two walls, not cannot move ahead of this wall, cannot cross this boundary either. And t is over here. T cannot cross this boundary, but t can go anywhere right from here. That's what I mean. Okay. And this is my small side, and as I go right, mm, things keep getting larger and larger, because that is my, all my signs are less than, equal to, less than, less than. Okay, if it would have, if the signs would have been greater than equal to, then this side would have been my larger one, where anything on the left, as we keep moving left, the values, the things, the letters keep getting larger and larger, and if we keep going towards the right, things keep getting smaller and smaller. If there would have been, all these signs would have been just opposite, that is greater than or greater than equal to. But since in this case all the signs are my less than, less than, less than, as we keep moving right, my things keep getting larger, starting from a smaller region. Now look at the conclusion. M is equal to 0, O. M is equal to O. Tell me, can M ever be equal to O? No, because never O can cross this boundary and come in this region, nor M can cross this boundary and go in this region. So there is this big constraint wall, dotted line. So this conclusion is not true. And N is less than S. So no matter what, N has to lie between these two walls, and S has to lie between these two walls. And wherever they are, no matter between their respective walls, n will always be on the left hand side of S. Left hand side means n is smaller than S always. So that is my true. Okay. Hopefully I could make things clear for you. Now, next question. Here it's in this inequality, I see that most of my inequalities are less than, equal to, or less than. Only this one is greater than. So I can make this less than. How? Just focus on this part. C greater than equal to D, and D can be equal to E. Just focus on this part. If this is the case, I bring C to this hand on this side of the inequality and bring these two towards this side of the inequality. and reverse the sign. Reverse the sign. Let's see what happens then if we do that. I'm bringing d equal to e, that entity, to the left hand side of the inequality, and I'm taking c to the right hand of the equality, and I'll reverse the sign. Here it was greater than equal to, I'll make it less than equal to. Okay. Make sense? After that, whatever there is, the remaining part, I'll just copy them as it is. Less than equal to f, less than g, less than equal to h. Okay, I copied the same thing as it is. I'll make the number line on just on top of that, and wherever there is my less than equal to, I will give a big constraint wall, big solid break wall. Oh, sorry, not here. Yes, wherever there is only less than or only greater than, that's where I give the big constraint wall over here. Okay. And wherever there is only less than equality sign, there is I give a dotted circle. That means C will lie in this region, F will lie in this region, uh, where they, since, and D and E, wherever they are, mm, D and E both will lie on the same point since they are equal. So wherever D goes, E follows. And this region is, you can imagine this region as a very fluid region. That means this point can overlap with this point, and they all can become equal to each other, or f can be less than c, uh, or sorry, f can be greater than c, uh, and c can be greater than d and e. uh, that's some. Okay. That is a very fluid region. And over here, I'll give another circular dot over here, and G can lie in this region and H can lie in this region, but G can be equal to H. This point means at this point when G and H, they both meet, that means they are both equal to each other. When they're not meeting, H is on the right hand side, G is on the left hand side, G is less than H. Okay. And since these are all my less than equal to, less than equal to, or less than, that means this side is my larger side. As I keep going on the right, things keep getting larger, and when I'm in the keep going in the left hand side of my number line, things keep getting smaller. Okay. Now see the conclusion. First conclusion is saying C is greater than or equal to F. So clearly from here I can see that this condition will not always satisfy. C can be equal to F, C can be less than F, C can be cannot be greater than F. C can be equal to F at this point if they meet, but C has to be less than F. C cannot be greater than F. So even if there is one example or even only one single point where C is not greater than F, if you find even one such point, the whole conclusion becomes wrong. So in this case I can see that C is less than F. So this conclusion is wrong. Next conclusion, F is greater than C, strictly greater than C. It is not always true, because there can be condition just like this point where F and C meet and they become equal. So this condition is not always true. I have found that one corner condition where f and c can become equal to each other, and even one example is sufficient to make the whole conclusion go wrong. So this conclusion is also wrong. Okay, understood. Let's see the next question. Let's just focus on up till the comma part. Up until the comma part, mostly things are like greater than equal to is used, except for this sign which is less than equal to. So I can reverse it. How can I reverse it? I'll just focus on this part first. By focusing on this part, v equal to w is less than equal to x. This is given in my question. Now we'll bring x to this side, v equal to w, this entity to the right hand side, and reverse the sign. So that will become x v equal to w, and by reversing the greater than equal to sign, I'll reverse the greater than equal to sign, I'll get this. And by reversing the less than equal to sign, I will get the greater than equal to sign. Okay. If this is the case, now I will write the full inequality over here. S greater than u greater than or equal to, I have reversed the sign and taken v equal to u to that side of x, so I'll just put this whole thing over here. X greater than equal to v equal to w. Make sense? Right? And it says that y is greater than equal to w, and z greater than equal to y. Right? So you see, I have to change this signs as well, right? So currently I have w less than equal to y, and all the in a whole equality we are converting all the less than equal to greater than equal to. So I'll just uh, change the sign by bringing y on the left hand side, y greater than equal to w. I just reverse the inequality, but this logic still holds. You could have read this as w less than equal to y, or y greater than equal to w. You could have read this in both ways. I have just written it in the reversed format. So if this is the case, and let's just focus on this part as well. uh, y is less than equal to z. I can reverse it and write that z is greater than equal to y. Make sense? So combining this to combining this and this, yeah, Yes. Now that you have converted these two inequalities and got this and this, so here the common link was W. W is present here as well. W is present here as well. Common link is W. So I'll write W as it is, and if y would have been less than w, then I could have continued in the same inequality. But since y is greater than, that means y is similar to x and u, or something on the left hand side of v and u, because x is also greater than w, y is also greater than w, they are all similar, so they are all will be repeating back from this after this. ऐसे घूम जाएगा इनइक्वालिटी, ऐसा नहीं कि ऐसे ऐसे इस तरफ मैं लिखता जाऊँ ग्रेटर देन साइन दे के, नहीं लिख सकता मैं. तो सिंस w is my common link, I will write w, and since v is equal to w, so v equal to w, this entity remains intact, and this thing is greater than equal to y, I'll write y below x, and z is greater than equal to y. Okay, I have written these two inequality by combining two inequalities जो दिया हुआ था question में. Now what I'll do, I'll draw the number line, and wherever there is only greater than or less than, I will give a hard constraint wall, big wall. So here I have only strictly greater than, no equality is there. So here just below it I will give a hard constraint wall, and S lies over here. Nothing can cross this wall and come towards the left side, nor S can cross this wall and go to the right side. And since these are all greater than or greater than equal to sign, that means this side is my larger side. As I keep moving towards left, things will keep getting larger, and this side is my smaller side. As I keep going towards the right, things will keep getting smaller, since all my signs are greater than or greater than equal to. Okay, and wherever there is an inequality with equality sign greater than equal to, just below it I will give a dark dot, dark dot. That means in this region, wherever v is, w is. Since they are equal, wherever v goes, w goes. Wherever w goes, v follows. So since they are equal in this region, and they can be equal to sometimes to x or y. That's why we have given a dark dot, because at this point if they meet they can be equal, but not but they can be greater than as well. X and y can be greater than as well. Only at this meeting point they all will be equal. But in this region, x also lies, y also lies. I do not know the relation between x and y. They can be equal to each other, greater than. In this region they can be equal to each other, greater than, less than, whatever. They can take, any relation can exist between x and y in this region. And same is for u and z in this region. U and z, they can take any relation. They can be equal to, less than, greater than, anything, but as long as they strictly stay in this region. But but at this point, this meeting point, there is a possibility that u and z, x, y, they all become equal to each other at this single meeting point. So you see, this whole region from this dot to this dot is a very fluid region. Everything can cross each other. It's a full chaos over here. And only hard constant is over here. Nothing from this side can cross this wall and come to this side and become equal to S. So now we'll go to the conclusion. S is greater than W. Of course, W is all the way over here, and S is all the way over here. There is big wall separating them. They can never be equal or less than. S will always be greater than W, because S is on the larger side of the number line. So this conclusion is true. And U is greater than or equal to Y. So We do not know for sure. We do not know for sure. This region is a full chaos. They all can become equal to each other. They all can come to the left or right. They can go anywhere, travel anywhere between this region. It's a full chaos. Is a fluid, like gender fluidity. Anything can go here, anything can go there. Similarly, they can. So we cannot say certainty about this. This conclusion is false. That is your answer. Hopefully, uh, this method of solving this type of question will help you. If you have any further doubt, please let me know. Okay, let's go to the next question, next and final question. So again, we have a puzzle question. Certain information is given to us, and following which we have to answer this four given questions. Let's solve it. Okay, what is being said? Study the following information carefully and answer the questions given below. 10 persons sit in two parallel rows containing 5 persons in each row in such a way that there is an equal distance between adjacent person. In the first row, P, Q, R, S and T sit and all of them face south. That means all of them face south downwards. And in the second row, A, B, C, D and E sit and all of them face north but not necessarily the same order. That means in the second row A, B, C, D and E face upward. एक एक दूसरे की तरफ चेहरा करके बैठे बेसिकली दोनों रो में, और एक एक रो में पांच पांच जन बैठे. ठीक है. This is my first row, this is my second row. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. I will make two similar diagrams simultaneously. Why? Because this is a puzzle. To account for different scenarios simultaneously, I will make two puzzles simultaneously, two diagrams. 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. And based on the condition, at some point in the question we will reach a point where for sure we will know that one condition is valid and other situation is invalid. At that time we will cancel the other situation, and whichever situation is valid we will carry on solving the question with that situation. This way we will be confirmed that the particular situation with which we are going forward is the correct one. We won't get stuck anywhere in between that way. Okay, let's solve the question. Let's read the clues. Two persons sit between E and D. Before I start, let me just give the arrows. All the persons sitting in row 1 are facing this side. All the persons sitting in this row are facing this side. For them, the people who are looking in the north direction sitting in row 2, this will be the right side and this will be the left side. And for the person who are looking towards the south and sitting in the first row, for them this will be their right side on the left and this will be their left side. Similarly here, right side, left side, will be the right side, will be the left side. If they're facing this side, this will be the right side, this will be the left side. If they're facing this upward direction, this will be the right side, this will be the left side. Okay, let's proceed with the clues. Two persons sit between E and D. Who sits here? Who means D. Who sits diagonally opposite to S? Diagonally opposite to S. Okay. Two persons sits between D and E. Who sits diagonally opposite to S. Okay, if my D sits over here, that means S will sit over here. That means S will sit over here. D is sitting over here, S is sitting over here. Yes. 2% sits between E and D. So if D is over here, 2% sits between E and D. तो यहाँ पे एक दो छोड़ के E will sit over here. Okay. E faces Q. That means Q is sitting over here, face to face with E. Who sits? Who means again Q. Who sits third to the right of R? Okay, we don't know the position of R yet. We'll come back to this clue later. So E sits over here, Q over here. C faces P but not an immediate neighbor of D. C faces P but not an immediate neighbor of D. So wherever C is sitting opposite to that, wherever C is sitting opposite to that, P is sitting. So C cannot sit over here because S is taken, and C cannot sit over here because in that case C would be just immediately after D. It cannot be true. So the only possible way that C sits over here and P sits over here. And B sits to the left of A. B sits to the left of A. They did not mention that immediately left. It just says that B sits towards the left of A. Okay. There are only two places remaining, and A and B will sit in the row number 2 only. We know that it is given in the question. And there are only two remaining places. B has to sit on the left side. That means A sits over here and B sits over here. Yes. Okay, now let's go back to the clue that we had left earlier. Q, who sits third to the right of R. Q, who sits third to the right of R. Okay. Okay, so Q is sitting over here and R has to sit over here. Then only if R is sitting over here, first, second, third, and then only third to the right will be Q. That means R is sitting over here. Who is left? P, Q, R, S is done. Only T is remaining. That means T will sit over here. Okay, puzzle is solved. We do not needed this in this question. Let's answer the question now. What is the position of D with respect to A? D with respect to A. D sits immediate right of A. So immediate right. Who among the following faces T? T's opposite is A. This is my correct answer. 4 of the following 5 are alike in a certain way and so form a group. Find the one who does not belong to the group. यहाँ पे I told you earlier, H person is the odd one out. H person is the odd one out. Whoever is sitting on the edge. 4 of the following, and other in the given option, one person would be sitting on the edge and the other 4 would be sitting in the middle. T sits in the middle, Q sits in the middle, C sits in the middle, B is on the edge. So B can be one of the possibility. P again sits in the middle. So only B is the one who sits on the edge. That means my answer is B or option D. How many persons sits between Q and T? Q and T. There is only one person, P. So my option is option A, 1. So hopefully I could have uh, taught you as much as I could for puzzles and inequalities and direction based questions. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any question, any sort of questions, please let me know. Thank you.